and welcome to Autocar Professional. We are here in Chennai today for the Future Powertrain Conclave, and I'm delighted to be joined by Mr. Ashish Bhalla, who's here with us representing Emitec. And sir, I wanted to understand from you, this is an industry that's going through so much change and churn with pluralistic technologies being the future. How do you look at the industry and the transition that's underway? Let's start with that.
So first of all, thank you Prerna for inviting us, and of course, as you see the future powertrain conclave, and good thing is that today you are not only talking about EV, but of course the ICE age also, and most important thing that from the today's perspective, and especially India perspective, if I talk, ICE is going to remain for the longer period. There are multiple reasons for this, maybe demography, population, technology being transferred across from the different part of the world. And yes, EV government and other OEM manufacturers, some of the OEM manufacturers are talking about a long-term solution, but we have to see that the whole infrastructure and of course the technology at the right price point is coming to India. So that we have to really observe and see.
Yeah.
But yes, ICE is going to remain for the longer time in India.
Right. Since you are heavily dependent on ICE technologies and you see a lot of, talk of hybrid EVs and a mix of technologies, how do you prepare yourself for the future and be more technology agnostic going forward?
So first of all, as I said, if I talk about India, so ICE is going to remain for the longer time. Now, in the industry or automotive industry itself, the change is happening slowly. For example, from the conventional powertrain, we are talking about hybrids. Then slowly we are talking about the other fuels also, biodiesel, ethanol. So we have the technology, basically we are manufacturer of substrates, and we have all these different kind of technology in the substrate who will support to reduce the emission from these vehicles, be it different fuel structures or the conventionalized for the long term. With the help of a substrate, definitely we are going to keep the momentum till the longer period, number one. Number two, when you talk about the diversification, of course, we are also talking the application of the substrate to different industries. For example, solar energy, for example, chimneys, which we are different industries are using. For example, flow straighteners. So these are diversified portfolios which will be bringing in the India as and when the legislation come into picture.
We are in Chennai today, and the Tamil Nadu government has sort of a vision to get to 1 trillion economy by 2030. What do you think will that entail? What is the potential of the state that you see, especially because now that EVs and other powertrains are coming up, so they're really trying to position themselves as a EV and auto manufacturing hub. So how do you see that in the future developing?
So first of all, personally, I like to come to Tamil Nadu, especially Chennai, and the simple reason is that I don't see at least the fleets that buses, those are EV, still running on that maybe diesel or the CNG, whatever, and that is one thing. But of course, second thing, today morning, Honorable Minister also said they are promoting both the technologies. He clearly pointed out that ICE and EV both are two ICE, and they will together in the longer term coexist. Now, the other important aspect what he talked is the self-reliance, that we have to see that our own engineers who are working outside India, that they can work in India itself, and maybe we can collaborate with the IIT Madras or other eminent colleges that for this research work, and of course with that research work we can bring all these technologies locally manufactured in India at an affordable cost, and I'm sure with that the perception of the people will definitely change. Be it the technology, of course, that that will evolve, and what will remain and what will not remain, that is a longer horizon. But of course, the self-reliance and the vision of the 1 trillion economy is, of course, is very good and commendable.
Tell me something. What is the kind of reskilling that the industry will require? Because you, again, as an industry, are in a state of transition. Where do you see? Do you see a skill gap? And what are the solutions towards reskilling that you could sort of solve going forward?
Yes, reskilling, that, first of all, if you see today, whatever technologies we are talking, starting from the ice, we just from some of the developed world, we are somehow bringing to India, right? And then, of course, the ecosystem we are trying to develop, and still I would say even today that the 70 or let's say 80% localization is also happening, not even 100%. So still there's a lot of gap which has to be built through reskilling, that all the new, or let's say Gen Z people, are focusing towards research and development, and of course different institutes including OEMs or component manufacturer like us, you know developing or developing their skill sets for the different technology sets.
Got it. Lastly, just wanted to understand from you. Every country has a net zero target. Europe is going, a little more on the electrification front. US was going towards electrification, but now they've sort of backtracked, and the pace of growth has slowed. China is a lot more electric than other developed markets. So, what will it take for India to realize its net zero emission, carbon emission goals, and what is the journey that you sort of envision for the country to take?
First of all, let us take an example of Europe. India should not talk about banning any technology. That is the first thing, and we have seen that disaster in the Europe. That at this moment, automobile industry is really struggling, and every other day that you read in the newspaper, magazines, what is happening with the different automotive sectors, whether be it OEM or be it a component manufacturer. So that's the reason it is important that India, according to their demography and the technology available, they are taking a let's say the forward path, which is talking about the ICE, hybrid, or the pure EV will coexist for the longer time. And of course, we also should talk about the price point, that whether, because as I said, per capita of income of the developed nation is different, and per capita income of the India is totally different. So we should also consider that whatever technology we are developing in India for the Indian market, which is affordable to the people and can sustain for the longer term.
Got it. Thank you so much on that positive note. Thanks a lot for taking out the time.